20th of September 2025, myself and Shirley are trying to organise some work on these archives. We have hundreds and hundreds of letters still to sort out, magazines, and of course we could double all these archives. We have so much information, so I just thought I'd do you a bit of an up-to-date, see how it's working on as such. Thank you for a lot of contributions, and I thought I'd end with just seeing how the way the lovely newspapers cover the subject. Thank you very much for all of their non-help.
In 1980, a UFO was seen in Rendlesham Forest. This book, by the Deputy Base Commander, offers new insights. What secrets lie within these woods?
A foreword by Colin Andrews, available on eBay. 290 pages devoted to many years' research into some amazing incidents investigated myself, a retired CID officer from West Midlands Police. It includes crop circles and UFO activity. The book captures the energy, excitement and spirit of what took place there from the early 1900s up to the later part of the 20th century. It was and still is a special place in my heart. Silbury Hill, Adam's Grave, Avebury, Stonehenge and so many other delightful places. We hope you enjoy. John Hanson and Shirley Edwards.
Alien 8 UK.
Hello. Welcome to Alien 8 UK, the UFO files, on this lovely Monday evening, afternoon, morning, depending where you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. And welcome once again, the one and only John Hanson. Thank you so much for coming on again. Absolutely.
Hello,
pleasure.
John.
The pleasure's mine as well. Thank you both.
More than welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
good.
loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Now tonight,
What
we're going to go into some really interesting stuff, because you're going to tell us a little bit about the RAF experiences with the balls of light, also as well. Someone that you've closely worked with that sadly passed away this weekend, and also what a high-ranking member of the royal family supported your work as well. So we're looking forward to it's not Andrew, don't worry. So so we're going to get into that.
What do you mean?
That's for another time.
That's for another show.
No.
So welcome back.
No, it is very kind of you to invite me once again. Obviously, there's a slight technical problem because, Abby, you're hardly moving at all. But as long as we can hear each other and as long as we can see each other, that's the main thing. So, so where would you like me to start off with? My esteemed colleague, the lady that passed away?
Yes, we'll start there. I'll is this the images of the ladies that you sent me, John?
Yeah, this is Elaine Waite, who used to live in Southall, London. I mentioned briefly last time we spoke, and I certainly wasn't prepared for this situation, but she I've got the photos you sent me. That's Margaret Fry and Jean Hingley. It's quite a rare photograph, because we're sidestepping the issue here a little bit, that Margaret Fry, the Welsh Federation of Ufologists, worked for Bufora for some years, must have investigated reports of UFO sightings for 50 years, and that was Jean Hingley. That was the 1979 35 Blueberry Walk, Rowley Regis, when an object landed and why is it's always three alien beings entered her house and conversed with her. Now, the press got hold of this and called it the mince pie Martians case and took the proverbial mickey out of it, as they do, because they're not believers. The shame of it is it caused her a lot of distress, and the police superintendent went to see her. He has passed away, but I talked to him some years ago. And he said she was absolutely genuine, and there were marks found in the snow and scratches found on the glass. And so once again, another very genuine case. But going back to Elaine, she used to run UPN. I think it was a UFO postal network as opposed to something else. I used to meet up with her in the Barge pub in Honey Street in Wiltshire. She used to come up with some members of the club, and she was a very, very good researcher. And she, as I say, she's the lady that had a lot of interference with her post and reported it to the police. And the police said there was nothing they could do about it and it shouldn't happen, but it did, and so did the post office. And ultimately, she made a complaint, which was discussed in government, and the bottom line was that if we want to tap your phone, we're going to tap your phone, and that's it. We don't have to tell you now. But why? We could ask this: why, how, who, what, where, whom. This is the problem, isn't it? And as I say, unfortunately, she passed away a few weeks ago. But she was the lady that had the most unusual injected an implant. Or when I say implant, I can't give any other name for it, but it was a very tiny thing. Now that's something very similar to what she had. That's somebody else's implant. That's quite common, the one you saw there. But the one she had was like a knitting needle with a bulb on the end, and it was really weird. And a professor at Manchester University said it was the strangest things he'd ever seen in his life, and that's as far as you can go with it. But she was a lovely woman, and I'm sorry to see her go. So if I had a glass of champagne, I'd drink it, but I've just got a cup of Shirley's tea. So I'll wish her the best and thank her for her commitment.
Yeah, and if any cases or anything that she's covered that you wish to cover over the next coming months in memory of her, then you're more than welcome, John.
Definitely.
Yes, I will. I'll do that. And the other thing is, I showed you a book that I came across. We've got such an extensive library, and it's a shame we don't have we don't have people to help. But that's how it is. This is how it is. But anyway, the book I came across fascinating was Politics at the White House, and that was written by Larry W. Bryant, and it's cut a long story short, because it would take us hours to read each and every letter and email sent to President Carter. President Carter, hundreds of letters sent to him asking him when he was going to release all the files. Suffice to say, he never did. But an interesting one here is that somebody asked him, what is the motivation of the entities and the civilizations which are behind the UFO phenomenon? Why are they here? Why haven't they made contact on a government level? Why doesn't our government speak out on the subject? Are the UFO entities hostile or indifferent to our welfare? Do we have any defense against them? Are they possibly benevolent? Well, that they are. My experience, my research shows that initially we would interpret their actions as being malevolent and hostile, but they can be benevolent. Anyway, is communication with them possible? Do they have societies like ours? Where do they come from? Is there a timetable? Is that timetable discernible? What do they look like? Do they have thinking processes and emotions which we can understand? Can they understand us? Are UFOs coming to visit us because we ourselves are now for the first time venturing into outer space? Since they are obviously superior to us, how superior are they? Are we like animals to them? Do they hold us in disdain? So that's the sort of questions that hopefully...
We're still waiting to be answered.
Well, that's right.
And now Trump and Obama are going at it, aren't they? Because Obama
I was going to say,
you
can just ask Obama. He's giving everything away.
Oh yeah. Are aliens real? Yes. Have you seen them? No. That broke official secrets, apparently.
You are joking now, aren't you? You're joking, Abby.
According to Trump, he broke national security by saying that.
What?
But I think,
How? It was just his opinion.
I know, but why
is it we are as human beings, we are treated like bloody idiots all the time? Because that's stupid. Of course, aliens bloody well exist. We've got thousands of sightings and we've got thousands of reports. We've got all the evidence. But as soon as it gets into the media, it's just what they want. And as I say, I don't know what people expect, but I know that going back to the 40s, the amount of people, especially 1947, 48, the amount of things that were seen by American citizens, as well as ours, don't forget, is immense. But in the main, it's been forgotten. Yeah, people don't know, you see.
So the crop circles that were spotted by the RAF in the 40s when they were doing the aerial photographs, when they were surveying, there's everyone thinks it was Doug and Dave with their plank of wood, but they were RAF were photographing crop circles in the 40s.
But it is frustrating for it. Look on.
I was just going to say, there's actual videos of it's either 2 or 3 orbs that go into. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know how old the video is. These 2 or 3 orbs go into a field and create a crop circle within seconds.
That's
I
right. Yeah.
know there was something filmed on Eastfield in the 90s. Colin Andrews was involved in that,
Well,
and all the
I
rest
went
of
to
it.
that. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
Colin Andrews.
this
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
supposedly took place in the 90s. So prior AI CGI wasn't readily available to the general public, and if it was,
Yeah.
it cost a fortune. And it was done within seconds, and then you just see him just shoot off and disappear.
Yeah,
I'll look for the video. I'll dig it out. I might even have it on the computer somewhere. And if I do, I'll get it on for the next one that you're going to be on, John.
there's
No, that'd be
also,
brilliant.
there's
I'll send
also
it
a
in
video
between
of
then.
Tim Carson's on his tractor, isn't there? And
That's
someone's
right.
filming
Well, Tim
from the
Carson,
top.
yeah.
From the top of Eastfield, and you can see an orb of light or this ball of light following him and flying around him.
But you know when I was saying
it.
I seen that flash of light in that field up in Peterborough a few weeks ago when we started getting that heavy rain and the floods. I was expecting to see a crop circle, but they're not there. Nothing.
I'd have loved that if you did.
No, I would have been getting out and taking photos.
I would have kicked your ass for not filming it.
I'd have blocked the road. I'd have done whatever it took to get him, but there was absolutely nothing there.
So you have some cases from the RAF, I believe, John. I
Yes,
do have lots of images here.
I'll just say, I didn't realise this myself, but the famous Condon report cost the American taxpayer, I had to work this out, but it's £222,000. And the conclusion was that UFOs don't exist. And then we've got Project Blue Book before that. And I don't know how we do it. How do these governments successfully cover up something that is apparently it's not a matter of the evidence speaks out for itself. You know how many pilots, how many citizens have seen things that are not aircraft. They are certainly things from, again, we don't know whether they're interdimensional. We don't know whether it's like extraterrestrial. I doubt it. But how do I know? I don't know. But what I can tell you, though, from looking through these thousands and thousands of sightings, and I've said this before in one of the programs, but it's all UFOs are always more or less predominated by the number 3. The amount of sightings of 3 objects, which then move about, can form a triangle. And we go back to the 1990s when hundreds, thousands of flying triangles were reported. And of course, over the years, we've explained them as well as being covert, top secret technology. But they weren't, because the same things, I found the same things back in the 1890s. So all we ask for is an answer. And, you know, you said it before in our pre-interview conversation. If we find an answer, are we going to like it?
I think it will blow human consciousness out the water. It really will. It will expand everything for us. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Whether we're too young as a species still, we haven't grown up enough yet, I don't think. I don't know. I just
there could be a mass awakening.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping.
I'm not saying there will be, but there's a possibility.
But that's why they won't let it out. They won't let the cat out of the bag, because
lose control.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Like Winston Churchill said in the 40s, you will not report these sightings by the pilots because it could affect religion. And again, from what I'm not particularly religious, but I've seen and experienced things that you might consider paranormal or supernatural associated with UFOs as well. So I can only, if you like, guide you along that line and say that there's definitely associations with it. So maybe in a way, I sympathise with governments. Do you know, that's odd for me to say that, but I sympathise because I think if we really got to the truth, we would be enlightened, but it would destroy something, wouldn't it? It would destroy
the control system.
This is the thing, though. There has to be that balance. It's all, doesn't matter what it is, what you talk about, what you encounter, you have to have that balance or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. And it's just the way that it goes, really.
I agree. I don't think it's about what they will show us. If they showed us three or four aliens having a McDonald's burger sat next to an alien,
they're too clever for that. They wouldn't be eating McDonald's. They'd be like,
"Oh no."
Well, no, but you know, I'm saying
that story.
That's the trouble.
Yeah, and we're not. Yeah, we're never going to get that hard physical evidence. We're not going to go, here's a ship from wherever. Here's some beans.
But they may. But they may do that. We live in an age. You know what AI is like. You know that it would be easy to show you an image or a fabricated construction of a flying saucer, and then fill us with a story about the reality of ETs and flying saucers on this planet, and which probably I just don't see happening. You know, for me, the main problem is as a member of the public who hasn't been involved in the close encounter as such, although I've experienced some strange things. I would want to know why our citizens all over the world have occasionally spasmodically been involved in a close encounter where they've got all sorts of health problems, psychological, physical problems. In other words, there's nothing they can do to stop it. That is the punchline. You can't do anything to stop it.
No.
So I don't know where this goes. I don't know where it will end, but I don't see it, and especially with AI coming in, which is going to just confuse issues. But it's like that guy
this week.
Sorry?
The case in point this week, there was a viral video of this apparent Mexican UFO, and everyone was like, oh, it looks like one of the jellyfish UFOs. It turned out to be a helium balloon that someone had very, very cleverly AI edited. So
that looks steampunk.
Yeah, that looks steampunk. It's
got all the pipes. Looks like bagpipes.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought, I actually commented in one of the chats on that. Like, it's very steampunk-esque.
It is, yeah.
That's just seemed a bit too many aerials coming out of it. It's like
very nuts and bolts.
People used to have like CBs in the cars, and you had all the different aerials coming out.
Right,
yeah, it looked like that. I thought,
but
is it?
The reality is terrible, really, because I was speaking to a gentleman who's, I won't say he's paranoid, he will not allow his name to be put out there, but him and his wife suffered a terrible experience while on the M5 motorway. And we met up at the weekend, and he went through it with some other people, and he is paranoid about his name being put out there. And I understand perfectly, whereas years ago, I could never understand why, if somebody wanted to keep silent and use a pseudonym, I used to think, well, can I really trust all this? But by God, people have every right to do that, because they are really terrified, and they're terrified because of the way that the media approach it. I won't go through. I've got all these magazines here. I mean, one of the craziest things is this was 2023. It was Pentagon Chief. The fear of a nasty ET surprise keeps me awake at night, and we've got ET going boo on the front cover, and that's the Daily Star. And then it's just rubbish. It's just rubbish. But that's part of the conspiracy to prevent the truth from coming out to us, not the other way around. You see?
Yeah. Well, they got ridicule, isn't it? Yeah.
They're making it sound clickbait, ridiculous clickbait, to put us off. So when the truth does start coming out, we're already kind of brainwashed to say, oh, well, we know it's fake because of this, and this. Yeah. So
there is a narrative, most definitely.
Yeah.
Now you sent me some images of some And this is a mock-up image. This was a composite of what they saw, and I'm just going to pop this on screen now. And this is what apparently some RAF pilots actually saw. So you could tell us a bit about that.
That's right. Well, I can find that one for you, actually. Well, let me just start with, if you want to keep that on there.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, I've got an early sighting from 1941, and this was a Mrs. Ina Stevens. Now, I met up with Ina, and she was known as Stevie. She was a former WRAF radar operator. She was stationed at RAF Neatishead.
Yeah.
I put in my report, and now living in Swindon. Well, I think she's probably gone. But she was to provide a fascinating insight into reports of UFOs tracked on radar at the base. She described an occasion when, as a young girl living with her parents in Swindon during the Second World War, her worst fears appeared to have come true after church bells began to ring, signifying what she interpreted as a German invasion. She said, "We rushed out into the street fearing the worst, but we're relieved to discover the alerted sound after a barrage balloon had come adrift from its moorings. My mum, who was gazing intently towards the Wills tobacco factory, shouted out for a telescope as she could see something next to the chimney. My father handed the telescope to her. She looked through it and then asked me to take a look. I saw," and she's made an image here, of a black saucer-shaped object hovering at an angle in the sky halfway up the chimney. It was black and gunmetal grey in colour. Suddenly it shot upwards at such a speed and was gone. And she told me that there was a lot of, they picked up a lot of stuff on radar, but she was obviously told she was not to disclose this to anybody. And then on the 28th of November 1942, I've got the entire crew of an RAF bomber under the command of Captain W.A. Lever sighted an unusual object twice during a raid over Turin, height of 2240 hours, which is 1040, at a height of 11,000 feet. And he said it was 200 feet in length, 4 red lights spaced equal distance along its body. They did not appear in any way like exhaust. No flame, no trace was seen. The object kept level with them. How many times have we had cases where not only aircraft are followed by these things, but also cars? Anyway, after carrying out their mission, they saw the same object a short time later whilst approaching the Alps. And then we've got one in December 42. RAF pilot B.C. Lumsden was flying a Hurricane Interceptor over the Somme River during early evening when he noticed 2 steadily climbing orange-coloured lights. He first thought they might have been traces of flak, but discarded this idea as they were moving too slowly and now increased in sight. At 7,000 feet, they stopped climbing and were now level with the Hurricane. Lumsden executed a full turn but found the object still with him. Now worried, he put the aircraft into a nosedive, descended to 4,000 feet, but was unable to shake them off. Anyway, later he said, "I found it hard to make other members of the squadron believe my story, but the following night, one of the squadron flight commanders in the same area had a similar experience with a green light." And that was from declassified records. Interesting, in that book that I showed you or referred to, there was an email or a letter sent to Jimmy Carter by someone who was saying that all they want to know is how many aircraft were lost to UFOs, how many pilots disappeared. And again, I am sure that I don't, if these things wanted to be malevolent and wipe us out, they would do. And as I said before, we wouldn't be here talking. So that's not their intention, is it?
No, it'd be like swatting an ant, wouldn't it? Really, let's face it.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, we're all ants. Anyway, on the night of the 26th, 27th of May, 1943, somebody I spoke to, this was RAF Sergeant Pilot Cockcroft. He was from Bradford, West Yorkshire, and he was based at RAF Little Rissington. and he was seconded to number 77 Squadron 4 Group Bomber Command at a station near York. And he was over Essen, Germany. He said the first wave had already bombed. The general target area was well alight. 2 or 3 minutes before our final run-in, at approximately 18,700 feet, we saw in front, but slightly to port, about the same height, a long cylindrical object, silver gold in colour, hanging in the sky at an angle of approximately 45 degrees. I think that the reaction of most was amazement, because the object had no right to be there. And then the speed it attained seemed to us completely incredible. It was certainly thousands of miles an hour. So that was from Norman Oliver, from Bufora, is no longer with us. And that's the thing, you see. Why have so many people, so many pilots seen these things? And yet, of course, a lot of pilots didn't see these things. But we know there is a pattern, isn't there, with these things? And the 1940s, it was a busy period, you know.
Very busy. I mean, you know, with what was going on geopolitically at the time, it was bound to be, wasn't it? Really.
So So just question. Sorry, carry on, John. It's okay. I'll wait till after.
Okay. Sorry. Right. I mean, the trouble is with me. I don't know what to bring to your attention, because sometime in the future, I'm really hoping you two guys, can you say that, Abby? You two guys?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. I don't get offended. I call everyone guy or dude or darling.
Right, it's we'll have to come over the archive and do a little deep thing from there, because there's so much stuff there. It is incredible. And it's because so many fantastic people have been involved, and it, as I've said, it's not about UFOs. It's also about the guys. I'm going to the guys and gals now. I'll be talking about what we talked about before, which we won't go into. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, Abby.
Oh yes,
the people that have worked so hard they shouldn't be forgotten, because it is our history, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Anyway, I spoke to John Warren's wife. He was stationed at RAF Ludham, Norfolk. And I think Philip Mantle gave me the information originally. But so I tracked her down. So she sent me a photo of John. But he said he was walking.
Is he in a striped jumper wearing glasses? Just so I'll get the right photo this time. Is he wearing a striped jumper?
Philip Mantle.
Yes, the guy, the RAF guy. Yes, is it this one?
No, that's John Warren. No, that's
I'm doing well today.
Keep taking them. Anyway,
no Philip Mantle on there.
No,
don't wear jumpers anyway. Sorry, but he's a great bloke. But this John Warren, he was walking back to the camping. It was about 4 miles from the base, walking through the countryside along this bending lane, when I suddenly saw a person standing at the edge of the field with something strapped to his chest, which gave a greenish glow. My hair stood on end. I was terrified. I walked past, noting in the field some 20 to 30 yards away some kind of object alight with colour. I thought I saw 2 other persons probing around the ground near the object. I arrived 2.5 hours later at the camp, but didn't tell anyone what I'd seen, although I described what happened to my sons over 20 years later. And my first reaction to that, if I knew very little about UFOs, I would think, could be anything, mate. It couldn't be an alien, surely not. But then you come across so many people that have seen what appears to be, how can I say? Well, they are alien shapes, humanoid shapes. Yeah. They're doing something next to the craft, and maybe they don't even know we're there.
No.
Maybe do not even know we're there. It's just
that
we
the
can see
you sent
them.
me, John?
Oh.
Is that the drawing you sent me?
Sorry?
No, that's not that one. That's a block of flax by the look of it.
No, I was just going to say,
Well,
with
no,
John,
it's a block of flax. That was Margaret Fry's. Margaret Fry. Currently, at the moment, we have something like about 4,000 photographic slides, and we have to sort them out. We have to put them onto a computer, and a lot of slides. I think she sent me about 1,000. So everything she was involved in, she put on slides, and that was one of the slides. And so you think about it, if these things didn't exist, how come so many people have spent so many years fully committed to trying to unravel this mystery and find out what's all behind it? That in itself tells you the level of commitment, and which includes yourselves as well. So it's overwhelming, but unfortunately we just bang our heads against a brick wall, don't we? We're trying to find out what the truths are.
With you saying about they might not be able to see us, if they are from a different frequency, a different dimension, maybe they can only see us on the certain point of the spectrum. Like the way we see spirits and that kind of stuff. Maybe it works coming back this way as well.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it's something that's it shouldn't be there, but it is there. I almost get an impression that it's an overlap of maybe time, place, the world, or whatever you want to call it. Something happens to create that, and but again, we talked about three UFOs, that rather than 4 UFOs or 5 UFOs, but 3 is the main number. You could also talk about, most people would describe 3. In fact, I've got in front of me another one here. This is Mrs. Sheila Burton. This was in the 5th of September 1951. And she was visiting her parents. She's in her late teens, on the outskirts of Brighton. And after waking up at 6:30 a.m., she went over to the bedroom window and was looking out onto the early morning ground mist when she saw something large and flashing, followed by the landing of a silvery green, light green or lime-coloured dome-shaped craft. 3 entities came out of the object. Well, I mean, that's what she said. Somebody doesn't say six entities came out. It's always 3. So what is so important about 3? Anyway, she said, to be fair, panel-like doors opened. Out came these 3 men. They were 5 to 6 feet in height, with bald heads, wearing a dark green khaki one-piece garment, holding what looked like a machine gun device. The men continued walking for about 30 feet and then began to walk backwards to the craft, re-entered their respective panels, which closed. The red flashing lights restarted, and the object shot upwards vertically and became lost from sight. And then she describes them, a very good description of them. So, and I think it was Andy Collins actually originally researched this. Yeah. So, but that's one of thousands. So, and there's no embellishment. They don't say they got out the flying saucer and came over and had asked for a bacon sandwich or a glass of champagne or something. I mean, that's crackpot stuff. This is
because they haven't heard of Shirley's bacon sandwiches. That's why. As soon as word gets out, that's it. They're going to be on your lawn.
No, I was going to say, I thought you were going to offer me a glass of champagne.
Oh well, yeah, I can offer you a glass of champagne, definitely, John.
Okay,
we'll bring you a bottle.
Well, it's like I can't remember the guy's name, that he got them pancakes from the
I know which
landed, and they just look like little barley snap things.
Yeah, I am laughing, not because it's only because last night I bought some pancakes and I was going to eat them as they were, but Shirley warmed them up and put cream in there and some jam and folded them over as ladies do, and they were lovely. But yeah, it wasn't Villa Boaz, was it? No, or something like that.
No, I know somebody in the chat will know the name. let me see. I did have the image of the guy on here. Let me see if it's still on it. No.
Yeah.
No, I've not got it. I thought I had. Yeah, and there's a photograph of him holding it, just like that, and it just looks like
that's right, just
snap type thing.
Mm.
So, yeah. I won't even say it was a flapjack.
Flapjack. No, my name's John. Yeah, it is. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, and it can be very frustrating because, if as I say, when I started out all those years ago, I didn't really. I like Star Trek. I like science fiction, Doctor Who. Of course, for me, this sort of stuff was silly. It couldn't exist. But obviously it does exist, and it never ceases to be. It's never boring. I mean, and people like to be able to talk to people like us, you know, because it's so important to them to get a lot of the stuff off their chest, you know.
Yeah.
It was It was Joe Symington's, the guy with the pancakes, the alien pancakes.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Symington's. Yeah. So I think you know what we're going to do in the next time then, if you can bring the pancakes.
Well, I've just managed to pull up this article. MI5 feared crop circles UFOs were the work of Nazis, basically. Have you got that on screen, Andy?
Yeah.
Hang on.
There you go.
There we go. And I'll just scroll down because these are some of the images of the crop circles that were captured by the RAF when they were surveying in the 40s.
Right. I think I don't know if I sent you. Are you? All right.
Yes, we've got that one. Yeah, I'll put that up now. No, you're all right, John.
I will.
Well, I don't think you can.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Well, you can just about see that, but that is no. It's not the lady on the right there. So don't get any ideas. They always put it next. No, seriously, they always put a bloody thing about UFOs next to a lady wearing hardly any. I'm not looking at her.
It's what you call a booby trap.
Sorry?
Said it's what you call a booby trap.
Oh, I mean, that's so funny. But this is E.T. from home. Prince Philippa's Library on Books on UFOs and Aliens, and that it's showing. For me, it's how can I say, it's insulting. It's scurrilous. It's debasing to put a photograph of Prince Philip next to a bloody ET with a flying saucer in the middle, abducting some of the Queen's dogs. I mean, I didn't sign up for this all these years ago. How do the newspapers get away? How do they do it? Do these things?
I mean, you'd think Prince Philip, of all people, would probably be actually privy to some high-ranking information there, and the fact that he was an avid supporter of your books and actually wrote you personally. You have a letter from him there that you were showing us earlier before we came on air. That's it again, to ridicule the subject, because I mean, your research, your archives, your books is the most in-depth archive there is outside the MOD. And let's face it, we're never going to see the real files from the MOD. They haven't even released the Cyprus event, so God knows what they're sitting on. But the UFO dump that we had in 2009 and 2010. That's just civilian sightings. That's. I mean, Rendlesham's in there because it has to be. Let's face it. But the truth hasn't come out about that, apart from what has been disclosed, as you said, by Colonel Charles Holt, and through the meticulous work that you're doing. So they're never going to release the full facts on it. They're just going to say it's a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Well, but funny if you should say that, because I've just reminded me. God, I must ring him. But him and his wife, I won't say his name on air, but him and his wife used to run the Orford Nest Lighthouse all those years ago, and some very strange things happened near the lighthouse, and so I must give him a ring. But yeah,
Can you tell us more?
Sorry?
Could you tell us more? What used to happen around the lighthouse?
Well, all sorts of strange things. I mean, that apparently UFOs were seen near there, strange lights in the sky, and some probably top secret activity took place. But that's why I want to see him. But for me, the Rendlesham Forest. It's like I'll say to you now, and I've said it before, nobody's interested. I've had a guy contact me, won't mention his name, but he's always touting for stories for the Star, the Daily Star, the Mirror, and all the other. Sorry, my downfall, but the rubbish bloody newspapers and the media. Yeah. Because that's how it is. But he wants to know if I've got anything else to do with Charles Hole or the Rendlesham Forest incident, or celebrities, because we've got Betty Turpin. You remember Betty out of
Coronation Street?
Coronation Street. We've got that's Betty. I'm sorry about this again, but can you see that? Another booby job. All right. Sorry. That was Betty Phone Home. Corrie legend met UFOs. Beam me up. This was 2019. Beam me up, hot potted. And she says the actress who died age 91 in 2011 spotted a strange ball of light hovering near the house she shared with her sister Frida. Well, Frida had some amazing experiences there. Anyway, it mentions that I interviewed her and that she said it shot up into the sky and were left frightened. And apparently it's explained away as it could have been a balloon, that's right. Was explained away as a weather balloon. All they have to do is tell us is make up the silliest, most mundane, stupid explanations, and most of the population just accept it because sadly they've no reason not to, because that's I say how it is. What we're talking about.
It's mad. It's mad. Rendlesham, I think,
Right. Well, the thing Colonel Holt told me, and I mentioned it before, he told me that that when he was, do you remember General Gordon Williams?
No.
Well, General Gordon Williams was in charge of the base, the two bases, Bentwaters and also Woodbridge. And when he passed away, because one of the loveliest ladies that interviewed him was Georgina Bruni. Do you remember Georgina Bruni? You can't tell her people. Conversation with Maggie Thatcher, when Maggie Thatcher said, you can't tell the people, about UFOs. So she went to stay with him in America. But anyway, apparently when Charles Holt went to the funeral, he was approached by the sons that said, we've got a story that our dad wanted you to know about before he passed away, and whatever. And apparently nothing transpired because they wanted payment for it. So I've no idea. It could mean anything. Maybe General Gordon Williams was in the forest. Maybe he did see the UFO. I have no idea. But for me, taking into consideration a guy called Major Zickler, whose role was to when he left RAF Woodbridge and when he left Rendlesham, his role was to catch servicemen out on air bases by setting up things like UFO sightings reports, drills, and all sorts of things like that to gauge their reaction rather than having a drill. But I firmly believe that this has nothing to do with UFOs at all. It's to do with probably a satellite or a film canister, because we used to drop film canisters in the forest. It's known about anyway. We went over Russia like Russia went over us. I don't know, and but people ignore that. They want the they want the UFO story. And I've just heard recently somebody that's been making a film of it has backed out. The film's been, I won't mention his name. Film's been going on. The film has been going on now for about 6 years, and it would be improper to mention who was leading that, who was doing the film. But I gather today that he's jacked it in. So, but Rendlesham to me is whilst I can't prove or disprove it was a UFO, what I can prove, and as said before, is some very strange humanoid images have appeared in the forest, and also the apports of stones which I've experienced, and you can't take that away from me because I've had them examined.
Yes.
Most unusual. So how do you relate?
The molecular structure was changed, wasn't it? Or they were brand new stones or something like that.
That's right. So that's always at the back of my mind. I'd love to get back. In fact, we should try and maybe meet you guys up down there.
Almost definitely.
Well, we're planning on going in the next month or so. Alex Lovelock, he's got loads of photos of these weird looking like monk type creatures in the woods, and this that like Michelin Man type weird thing behind the fence on the runway. Forgot what it was called then.
Oh, it's a fascinating area, and of course, forgetting Rendlesham Forest, the 26th, 27th, 28th of December, whatever, 1980. 1980 was a very busy year. There was lots of stuff happening, just not only in Suffolk but all over the country. But it's when you weigh all this evidence up, and you realise it isn't just about Rendlesham, but it's a fascinating place, and there was a lot of work done in the 1980s. But there was some amazing people down there, So I'd like to see Charles Holt. I think Charles is about 86 years of age now, so I think I would like to see him and have a beer with him. I think I'll try and do that this year.
I mean, if you ever want to come on with Charles, you're more than welcome.
Well,
we're not going to say no to that one.
Well, I can get Charles Holt on for you.
Oh, that would be amazing!
That would
Thank
be
you.
Fantastic.
That would be astronomically amazing.
Yeah. I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I'll speak to him, and I'm sure he'll be quite willing. But sadly, he lost his wife a couple of years ago. Lovely woman, and he also had a dog called Caesar that died. He's got a new dog called Caesar, but he's a quiet bloke, His wife used to say, "Well, he won't say much to you until he's had a beer," and
getting drunk.
Get him drunk. Yeah, he'll tell you all the secrets then. So,
well, maybe that's what happened to Obama. He'd had too many drinks before this podcast. We have had a comment. Hang on, we have had a comment come up about the El Paso incident at the 10th of February. I've actually just tried to upload that footage, but it won't let me in StreamYard for some reason. I've reached capacity. So there were 3 separate civilian UFO sightings that were uploaded to the Enigma Labs app, and it's also on the Enigma Labs Instagram page. I will try and get those up for you next week on the next week's UFO files, but for some reason it's not letting me because I just tried to get those up for you. But next week, I'm afraid it's we're having technical difficulties.
Next week.
Are you?
Next week.
Are we?
Are we? Well, people are asking for them, so I will show the 3 clips next week of the El Paso UFOs.
Might not be able to because we've got a guest on next week.
Okay,
Norway.
so Norway. Sweden. I might stitch a reel together then and put it up for you guys.
Oh yeah, do a reel and then I can play it.
Yeah.
So we've got a guy. So we've got a guy coming on. He goes by the name of UFO Joe.
Oh, UFO Joe.
So he's from Southern Europe, but he lives sure it's Sweden, Norway. He lives up there. He does a lot of the snow ploughing, so he knows about the Hasseldine lights and all that goings on up there.
Oh yeah, Eccleston lights, yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to be covering a lot of that, and then his own encounters. And then the week after, we've got Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron coming on.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. I thought you said Dolly Parton.
Did I say?
You said Dolly Saffron?
Dolly Saffron, yeah.
Do you know what?
Do you know what? I did.
He said that on Saturday. You did actually say that on Saturday, and I said that's impressive. We've got Dolly Parton.
Wow. Hey, watch his face. You never know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to get time to read these others, am I?
Oh, we got 5 minutes.
4.5.
So maybe we'll squeeze one in.
We'll get one in.
Well, I'll squeeze one in
the next time.
Yeah.
This is a guy called Stanley Roberts. Probably passed. I spoke to a lorry driver. He was in his late 70s then. This is donkeys years ago. And he was from Haydock, St. Helens. He was driving a heavy goods vehicle from Immingham Oil Refinery along the slip road of the M18 during the early 1990s coast to Doncaster. At the time, there was a contraflow lane in force with cones all over the place. I was watching the road carefully when I saw these red and green lights move overhead. They were massive and big as football pitches. I wound down the window and saw a dense jet black V-shaped object, so black it hurt my eyes to look at it. I became aware of horns sounding and lights flashing from behind. Whether they could see the UFOs, I don't know, or were they telling me I was driving into the cones. I pulled the lorry in, got out to have a closer look, and grabbed hold of some scaffolding. I was horrified when my hand stuck to it as if magnetized. When Stan arrived home, his wife told him he'd missed all the fun. She'd heard on Radio Humberside about a UFO being seen at Humberside and chased by the police before it shot away. Following the event, Stan noticed some discomfort in his arm, and after speaking to his doctor, arranged to visit Fairfield's private hospital to have an ultrascan arranged by a doctor. Stan was very much taken aback when a passing houseman looked at the result and asked him if he'd been involved in a UFO encounter. Stan, I asked him why he should ask me such a question. He told me they'd found a small bullet-sized object, a little ball in the end, with serrated edges fixed into the bone with no scar. I told him I had never had any operation there in my life. He agreed, and as far as I know, it's still there. We spoke to Stan in July 2007, hoping to obtain a copy of the microscan. Unfortunately, the photograph had been blotted out, although he did send us a copy of the hospital form, which confirmed his visit and examination by the doctor. As the discovery of the artifact was deemed not to be the cause of the pain, it was left in situ. Was it, as Stan believed, an alien implant, or was it a foreign body of natural causes? Well, I know people can have foreign bodies of natural causes, but the amount of times that people have got too close to these objects and they've been, what I would use the word, inseminated by something that's left in their body. You just can't take that away from it all. So,
well,
who knows?
Andy's experience is very strange with the one in your nose, because it disappeared, didn't it?
That side, yeah.
It's
like a little grain of rice, same size as a grain of rice, but hollow.
Right.
It was just.
It was like glass, he said, didn't it? It was almost like.
Yeah, it felt like porcelain.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but of course none of this makes sense anyway to us, because we can't comprehend what lies behind it, but it does happen. We are not only impregnated, but we are sometimes, with things are left in us, and as I say, it's that's probably because we don't know. And we probably never will, but it doesn't stop us wanting to know, and that is our right, isn't it?
Yeah. I tell you what, it's another reason for me to go across the pond and visit America, because it will give me a full body scan so I can have a quick look to see, just in case.
Okay, right,
just in case. You never know, do you? I mean, the amount that we see, I've never had missing time, but the amount we see,
what
do you
know? You don't know if you have missing time. Quick question before we wrap this up. So Ross Gilbert is asking, so that one that the guy seen on the M18, was that the same one that passed underneath the Humber Bridge?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, we've got reports from Humberside Police there. Before, I won't labour, but with the Rendlesham Forest, I never forget the bloke's name, but there was a Colonel Spring who worked at RAF Woodbridge, and he is known, but I couldn't trace him. But he had a visit from Humberside police officers, senior police officers, who came to see him just after the Rendlesham Forest incident. Now, how could they have known about that? Because there's no way that the RAF of the United States Air Force Station would have put a report or telexes out or whatever. So they came down to see him because they'd had something similar happen in the Humberside area. So there is an association there. But as we've said, if anybody wants to come and look through the archives, we have massive amount of information, letters on Rendlesham Forest. And the thing is, as I said to you before, we don't charge. We just like people to come down and have a look. That's their right, you know.
Well, me and Andy will definitely be there. Getting us to leave might be different. Me and Andy are definitely going to get down there. Getting us to leave is another matter. We'll be there, just like going through everything.
Well, it's seriously. Look, I mean, I'm not getting any younger. Don't you dare ask me. It's an opportunity to. Oh, happy
birthday, by the way! The other day.
Yeah, bugger off with you. I'm treating you like my daughter now, right? Sure. It's come down and have a look. You know, it's
definitely. Definitely.
We'll sort it out, and there's. Well, I mean, people have said to us, "Why don't you scan it all?" How the hell can I have time to scan it all?
You'll be there forever.
Just before we go, we've got King of the Aliens. We've got that's.
Oh, at least there's not a booby picture next to it this time.
No.
Well, no, there's no, it hasn't. You're right. It's got a man. Anyway, we've got hobby. Charles has studied Charles has studied aliens like ET. It's so annoying because you know, why shouldn't we
know? He would know. I mean, he's the king, so you know. I don't think national security applies to him. So if anyone's going to know, I think it will be him.
I'm sure they've got to have hobbies. I'm just going to sit there doing that all day.
Well, it isn't a hobby. I mean, it's not a hobby of ours. It's the facts. The facts are that Prince Philip was privy to a lot of information that we weren't. He was involved with, obviously, the Lord Louis Mountbatten, who was interested in UFOs, same as Lord Dowding, the same as so many others, Lord Hill Norton. They can't all be buggering about and making it up. They're not. So they've been made aware of just how intense these UFO flaps or UFO waves have been over the years. And they, like us, if you interviewed all of them, they'd say the same thing. Oh, I don't know. And the thing is, I don't think they do know. But it intrigued them. But because of their natural curiosity, they get slagged in the newspapers. And I just think I really worry about monarchy. Not because of what we spoke about before, but I do worry because 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, if you put in a newspaper slagging off the royals, the proper royals.
Oh, if you misspoke about Queenie, there would have been national blinking outrage, wouldn't there? Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right,
Anyway.
I think that is all we've got time for tonight, sadly.
Yes. So thank you again for coming on. Thank you for
chat. Yeah, sorry, I will, as soon as I've sorted the Warminster Wiltshire book out, I'll have a chat with you. I'll even come up and see you. Where are you? In Hong Kong?
Hong Kong, yeah. No, you're middle of the country, Andy.
Northampton. Not too far from where you're from.
Yeah.
Oh right, of course. Yeah. Well, we must. Okay. Yeah, how many miles then, roughly?
We emigrated from the Midlands. He moved into the Midlands. What can I say?
Oh right. Well, that's good. Well, we'll get together. Yeah, because I'd love to interview you. And but when you come down, you'll see. Yeah, it's important we get the information out there.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think you've got a little something to finish us off with, John, haven't you? To replace Andy's gong.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I thought you meant so go and wake up Shirley. She'd be fast asleep. Right. Okay. So, is that about level?
Yeah.
Watch your fingers.
So that's all right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Crazy. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you, everyone in the chat, the moderators, everyone for coming on. There is a premiere going out tomorrow from the conference that me and Abby and everyone else was at the weekend. It's the panel questions that me and Abby was running for Daniel with RPG, Brian King Sharp,
Ronnie LeBlanc, yeah,
Chris
Ashworth,
Alsford.
Sorry, Chris.
And the Barnett family.
We're still a bit hungover, to be fair.
Yeah, and everyone else in between. And then the rest of the B-roll video we're going to put together. I'm going to do that as a separate entity altogether. Yeah. And then myself and Nicole are back on Wednesday with Encyclopedia of the Unknown. We're going to do the letter G. And on Friday, we are on the earlier time of 7:30, not 8:30 UK time.
And do we know who we got coming on Friday?
I'm not telling you.
Oh,
you can wait.
Tease.
I know, but it's going to be a good one because we're doing our first hidden archives.
Oh,
we're going to be talking about Tartaria.
Oh, looking forward to that. So yes.
Yeah, thanks so much for a lovely evening. You do make me laugh, and you're enjoyable. It's, I mean, I would have got some. I could have got some donuts or pancakes done while we were talking. And seriously, yeah, because if you haven't got a sense of humour, well,
what's the point of doing it?
What's the point? What's the point?
That's right. What's the point?
And you never know. We might be back on Friday with Dolly Parton because Andy hasn't told us yet.
Dolly Parton.
Imagine.
We might just. So it's a boobs aplenty all round. What can I say?
Yeah. Right.
Thanks very much. All right.
Take care, everyone. Join us for the premiere tomorrow. We'll be in the chat. Failing that, join us live, myself and Nicole, on Wednesday at 8:30 UK time, 3:30 Eastern time. Thank you for joining us. See you all soon. Ta-ra.
Alien 8 UK.
Goodbye.